culture where communities would rise one against the other and have such a cohesive and integrated nation that any person, any Kenyan could live anywhere within the boundaries of Kenya and feel safe, own property, work, and live with other Kenyans as one people. I am certain, Honorable Speaker, and I have no doubt in my mind that the people of Kenya, the great people of Kenya, read through each one of us as leaders, and they know those who do not mean well for us. They know that those who are selling hatred, those who are selling ethnic division, those whose only agenda is to hurl insults from one village to another, one rally to another, people who have no agenda, people who have no vision, who have no policy proposition on how to move our country forward, and all they can sell is hatred, the people of Kenya can read through them, and they know they will go nowhere. And that is why I repeat, they will go nowhere, they will lead nothing, they will lead no one, and lead nothing and nowhere. Honorable Speaker, the blend of this commission is a very good blend. We have young people in the commission, we have slightly middle-aged people, and we have older commissioners who are coming in as members of this commission. And the regional balance also is very good, Honorable Speaker. You can see we have people from Nyanza, we have people from Northeastern, we have people from the coastal parts of Kenya, we have people from the central part of Kenya, people from Eastern Kenya. Therefore, it's a good blend. And this good blend of commissioners tells us that we have an opportunity, or they have an opportunity, to build a commission that will also help the nation to remain cohesive and build proper national cohesion. And they can only do that if they take their work seriously, hold no bars, and spare nobody. Nobody. Because there's nobody who is above the law, including Kimani Ichung'wah. If I say anything that is bound to be a danger to our national cohesion and integration of our nation, action must be taken against me and any other person, Honorable Speaker, because we have only this one country, and if we lose it, we have no other, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, I want to support all these commissioners, Honorable Speaker. I have a lot of confidence, Honorable Speaker, in many of them. At least I know about 3 of them in person, people who have served elsewhere in public service and done exceptionally well. Those like Dr. Kefa, who has served very well within the religious or the faith sector and done very well in leadership in the faith sector. And I want to pray that as a chairperson of this commission, because he will be the face of this commission, he will be the spokesperson of this commission, he will steer this commission to be a commission, Honorable Speaker, when we were co-chairing the NADCO committee with my good friend Kalonzo Musyoka. And I say Kalonzo Musyoka, not Kalonzo, the one who wrote a letter here. His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, the former Vice President. There are many people who came to the NADCO committee and proposed that this be one of the constitutional commissions, that we should either merge with the Gender and Equality Commission and the Kenya Human Rights Commission. They should be merged into one commission. And these feelings emanated from what Kenyans were able to see as the output of this commission. And many people felt that it was not living up to what it ought or what it was envisaged under the 2010 Constitution to live up to. Therefore, it's a challenge to the new commissioners that they must live up to the expectations of our constitutional dispensation of 2010, that they will have teeth to bite. And as much as they don't have prosecutorial powers, they have powers to summon people and recommend prosecution to the DPP and those who defy them, like that ethnic bigot and criminal who was defying them. They must be able to relay that to the district DCI and the IG of police to arrest and take them before the commission to answer to the accusations that may have been leveled against them. Honorable Speaker, also for many of us as political leaders, let us be cautious of what we say in public. Let us know when you incite people, you will not be there when those people are fighting. But you also not be safe. So let us be cautious when we are selling hatred. And if you have nothing else to sell other than hatred, please, you can look for something else to do other than look for political leadership. But there are so many ideas that you can sell to the people of Kenya. At least get an agenda or some idea on what you can sell. Whatever it is, other than hatred. Because when I look at these people, Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, because I saw some group of some confused people calling themselves an alternative government. And I wondered, how can you be an alternative government when you have no idea on anything other than insults and selling ethnic hate and divisions? That the best you can do is move from one place to the other, saying, oh, CNN is like this. You move from CNN in Kitui, you go to Mombasa. Oh, Governor Abdul Swamad is like this, is like that. Why do you focus on other men if you are a man? What is your problem? Why can't you get an agenda to sell to the people of Kenya? The people of Kenya will never vote for you on account or on the basis of how much hatred you sell or how many names you Christian people and insult them. The people of Kenya want to see leaders who can articulate issues that touch on the lives of the people of Kenya, not hatred. Therefore, let me tell those confused people who are calling them alternative nothing. You are nobody's alternative. You cannot be an alternative to anything. Not government, anything. Because even when they are calling themselves a disunited opposition, they were so disunited that now they have disintegrated. Now I hear one faction is calling itself alternative nothing. Another one is, I have seen another one now is moving around by herself. I hear the Jubilee team also is also working to move on their own. Anyway, in their disunity, let us be cohesive. Even those who think and support them, let us encourage cohesion. Like the member for Tetu, Honorable Wandeto. Honorable Wandeto is a very good man. He's a member of my church, the Presbyterian Church, at Mutero in Karen. And we fellowship together. The same way we fellowship together as Presbyterians. I want to see the Honorable Wandeto and myself sharing platforms, talking about how to move Kenya forward, not how to sell hatred. And thank you, Honorable Wandeto, because Honorable Wandeto has never been seen anywhere selling hatred or selling ethnic hate. And when he sits in the chamber, he sits to articulate issues that touch on the people of Kenya. The former DO, when he was here as a member of parliament for Madeira, never ever articulated anything. Zero, nothing. He never articulated anything. That's why even today he cannot articulate anything anywhere. When he served as a deputy president, he knew nothing of how government works. I remember sitting with him, Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, when we formed government and we were going through the budget process and how difficult things were. We had a country that was about to default on debt. And he sat there and held his chin and said, oh my, I never knew this is what we are getting into government. I thought we would come and enjoy. Probably that is why he thought enjoying is stealing from government. But thank God and thank the people of Kenya that character is out of government today. Honorable Speaker, I support this commission. And I support Honorable Wandeto in moving Kenya forward.
Honorable Wandeto. Then I'll come to you, Honorable Julius Meli.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I tried to catch your eye on a point of order, but maybe I wasn't able to, because I felt the majority leader had really moved away from the motion on the table, which was supporting or rejecting the appointment of the commissioners, and had gone to a completely different topic, which he was addressing, because I don't know, Mr. Speaker, what cohesion had to do with 3/4 of the speech that the majority leader gave. But, Madam Speaker, let me just rise to also support this report, and also to mention that I'm happy that Dr. Kefa Omae is the chair of this committee. He's a person also very well known to me. I've listened to very many of his sermons, and he's a very seasoned leader in both the religious and political circles. But Madam Speaker, the NCIC is a very important commission. It is a creation of the Constitution, and there can be no other time that it can be more important than now, when we are only 15 months away from the general election and the political temperatures are starting to heat up. But I would like to remind NCIC that for a long time, it has focused on a very narrow mandate. It has only focused on the mandate of hate speech, which is very important, I agree. But there is a much wider mandate that we see being abused. I mean, a much wider mandate that it can focus on. And there are things that we see being abused in this country every day. One of the mandates is to ensure, is to ensure fair access to opportunities. And this is something that we have not seen NCIC talking a lot about. The other one is focusing on marginalized communities in this country. And that is another area that we have not seen NCIC focus quite a lot about. In this country, for example, access to public opportunities has been a very debatable issue, where some communities in this country feel they are unfairly underrepresented, and I have not seen NIC raise a voice on this. And so I would like to ask the incoming chair that other than focusing every day on hate speech, which is important, and I'll talk about it, that NCIC now focuses on these the wider mandates, and to ensure that it can be able to also make every Kenyan feel like we are one nation and that everybody has a stake and is well represented in this country. But dealing with hate speech, Madam Speaker, the other thing, NIC has been accused of being impartial on its enforcement. In this country, depending on which side of the political divide you come from, there are things you say and you can get away with. There are things you say and you'll have a fleet of Subarus arriving at your house either late in the night or very early in the morning. And this is the impartiality that has time and again been seen in NCIC. I have even heard none other than even the head of state sometimes using what I would consider very unpalatable language. I have not seen NCIC call him to order. But every time, someone else who is considered maybe from the other part of the political divide says something, they are always out there, to condemn. So impartiality has been one thing. The other thing has been enforceability. NCIC, has just become nothing more than a toothless dog. And Madam Speaker, we all ask ourselves, when will I see NCIC move from issuing warnings to actually deterring impunity? Because the impunity that we see in this country, time and again, they need to do a little bit more. And since we are coming to an election year, we must remember the lessons from 2007. We must remember the lessons from countries such as Rwanda, where an otherwise very simple thing started as just vernacular radio jokes, people disparaging one community, disparaging another, and ended up being a catastrophe. So NCIC must start early. But what I'm emphasizing, because I can see the majority leader applauding me, I'm emphasizing impartiality. Even the majority leader has time and again been on this floor, sometimes also saying things that actually could be considered hate speech. There's a person he keeps describing, he has never named who it is. I think he says he has a black hat, he's a black man, I don't know, he is this, he is that. And I think those are also items of hate speech. So maybe as Kefa Omae comes, he should consider writing a letter that hate speech also may be being propagated in this very house, and that this house cannot be seen to be propagating hate speech in any way.
Majority Leader, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I don't know why Honorable Andeto is inviting me to interrupt him. but is Honorable Wandeto in order to assert, because he's actually asserting that I have used this floor to enhance hate speech, because I have never done that. And Honorable Speaker, it is also casting aspersions on you as a speaker. Because if I said anything that constitutes hate speech, any member is at liberty to interject and invite you to rule me out of order. Therefore, I would want Honorable Wandeto to substantiate at what point I have said anything that constitutes hate speech, and if he cannot, he should apologize and withdraw that statement. Because I may describe you as a person with a black heart, evil, but who is that person? Who have I described? It is true, there are people with a very black heart, dark soul, murderous culture. Those are facts, and they are there and they live with us. Some might even be political leaders propagating hate speech and propagating ethnic hatred and division. So long as I have not mentioned anyone by name, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Wandeto cannot assert what he was asserting and he actually asserted it like it's a statement of fact. So again, in line with our standing orders on statement of fact, unless he can substantiate and quote from the Hansard, because everything we say here is on Hansard, Honorable Wandeto should withdraw that statement or reference to me as propagating hate speech. I do not. I am one leader who is very cautious of what I say, especially things that can cause what Honorable Wandeto is saying, things that happened to this country in 2007. And I agree with him. That's why I was applauding him by foot thumping, because what he was saying, it is true. It is the small things we say on vernacular stations. It is the small things political leaders will say in vernacular, imagining others are not listening, but they're inciting people against others. And he knows those who say that, and he knows I have never said anything to incite one community against others. Honorable Speaker, I would beg your direction that if Honorable Wandeto will not withdraw that reference to me as having propagated hate speech, he must be forced to substantiate by providing the Hansard of where that hate speech is.
Honorable Wandeto, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And also thank you for ruling that there is nothing untoward that I've said.
I have not ruled on anything.
Because you did not give me any directions, Madam Speaker.
That was a point of order. I'm now listening to you. You continue with your submission.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, what I'm saying is that in this very house, if I can just now maybe put it generally, we must be careful also about the words that we use. We are all Kenyans, black, white, blue. Nobody knows the color of our hearts, because you may need to conduct a surgery to really determine the color of one's heart. So I think that is the point at which I was coming, and I would like to encourage the majority leader not to use some words, black men, because first of all, we are, when he says a dark man, with a dark heart or a black heart, Madam Speaker, we are Africans, and the black and dark color are very dear to us. So whenever you describe us in any other terms, we start wondering, how you are addressing us. Because, and as Africans, we've been accused, many people out there in the world don't like our color. And our color sometimes has been associated with evil and things like that. So I would encourage the majority leader that in future, should he wish to describe whoever he would like to describe, maybe he can use terms that are African, because it is very un-African to really use our color and, and things like that. But, Madam Speaker, if I may now just conclude. We have seen the political temperatures rising, like we have seen in the country. And I can say that none of sides of the political divide is innocent in this exchange. We are seeing a lot of, harder and harder words being used against each other. And what we want to call upon the NCIC is that start early and have some teeth to bite. Don't just summon people. Don't just write letters. Let us see NCIC taking real action. Let us see NCIC becoming an actual tool that we know can deter hate speech, that can deter ethnic tensions, that can deter some of these things that have happened to other countries. The reason we created this institution in our constitution is because we had learnings from others and would not want to be able to see ourselves moving, in this direction. So I rise to support the appointment of the commissioners. Again, I agree with the majority leader that, in this country, again, some of the commissions seems to be overlapping. And maybe this may not be a debate for today, but every commission that has been appointed in this country must start showing their value. They take a lot of taxpayers' money. We keep some of these commissioners very, very well as a country. So they must demonstrate, their value to this country, the billions, the hundreds of millions or billions that we are giving these commissions every year. We must start seeing return on investment as a country or value for money, in terms of actual delivery of the mandates that they have been given. Otherwise, I rise to support, Madam Speaker, and wish Dr. Kefa Omae and his team all the best, especially as we move into the election year. Thank you.
The Honorable Julius Meli.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the National Cohesion and Integration Committee for a work well done. Madam Speaker, our Constitution is in Article 250. Actually, came up with this. They came up with the National Integration Commission with an intention, actually, of holding the Republic as one. Honorable Speaker, we know that Kenya is a diverse country. It is one nation with diverse communities of various religious backgrounds, of various ethnicities. But all of them, we have one aspiration, one common accord, and we are moving together as a unified nation. Honorable Speaker, the committee did a very commendable job, more importantly, on the procedures of approvals of nominees as per the various sections of our Constitution. Madam Speaker, the members who have been appointed here, and I want to really stress more importantly on the issue of why we need, as a republic, to be one, and why this commission is very important. Madam Speaker, this country, every other time, like any house or like any other family, is bound to have conflicts. More essentially, as we move towards elections, like right now, there are a number of people who come out with a lot of utterances, with a lot of talk that can split this country. And that is why the drafters of our Constitution saw it right that we actually come up with this commission. And the choice of members of this commission is very important, that we have people of high integrity, people from all corners of this republic, and individuals of repute in terms of standing in society. Madam Speaker, when you look at the republic, it has undergone a lot of upheavals. 2002, 2008, 2007 and 2008, and even in every other time after elections, we have a cycle of violence, which is as a result of utterances, which is as a result of incitement, which at times individuals who are involved are supposed to be brought to book and they're supposed to be answerable for their actions. What the National Integration Commission does is actually to hold our society one. A number of leaders, more importantly politicians, at times put this country at risk. And I remember the former vice president came up and said the republic is more important than an individual. And that is why when members of the political class or members of a particular group make insightful statements, we need to take action against them, irrespective of their political standing in society. We need to make sure that the republic or the nation state is united. And there are a number of symbols of national unity, Madam Speaker. One of it is the presidency. One of it is this house, where members of this house are elected from all parts of the republic by Kenyans to represent them. And any utterances that brings down or actually do not support or give respect to the institutions of government that holds this country together, that is what the National Cohesion and Integration Commission needs to do. And it has been seen, Bishop Kobia, the retired, actually took a number of steps every other time when there was an issue that has arisen to threaten the peace and stability of this country. The members who are here, Honorable Speaker, if you look at Kefa Nyamoya Omai, is a renowned church minister. He's a renowned person who has a lot of qualities in terms of leadership. And the position that he has been given is a position of responsibility. It is a time that such a person is given this position, and it is also important that as we move on, members of both the political divide, and more importantly, people who are actually out to incite Kenyans against one another as we move towards elections are supposed to be brought to book. If you look at, for example, Mr. Jackson Swadi Kedogo. Jackson Swadi Kedogo was a member of the county assembly or the member of the defunct Nairobi City Council. He was also an MCA in Nandi County where I come from. I know him personally. I know him as a leader who is a grassroots mobilizer. He is a person who comes from the border between Nandi and Vihiga. And that is the region which is prone to clashes, it is prone to conflicts. And he himself has participated in bringing cohesion amongst the two communities that reside in that border. Noting that he is originally from Vihiga, but because he was a likable man, he was able to be elected as a member of the county assembly for Kabwareng and served in the Nandi County Assembly for 2 terms because of his reputation, because of leadership skills, and more importantly, because he was a man of the people. He will bring his skills to this commission and make sure that this country and even areas that are prone to conflict are actually going, his skills and understandings will be of much importance to this country. Madam Speaker, the National Integration Commission is very important because it is not only political conflicts that we face. We have also the issues that arise out of land clashes, border disputes, and so many others. As much as it requires the intervention of the provincial administration and internal security, some of these things emanate from clanism, emanates from differences, especially those issues that I've seen in Kilgoris, areas that are people that fight over over grazing rights, and even water in some other areas. It cannot only be solved through the intervention of the police and the military, but at times it needs the wisdom of the commission to bring societies together. Madam Speaker, if you look at what this country needs as we move forward, there are so many issues that the commission has on its entry. And that is why this House needs to make sure that we pass this particular, we approve what the committee has done, be able to have them in office on time, and so that they can be able to run and solve the issues that affect this country, not now, but also into the future. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I also want to wade into areas where politicians, like the former Deputy President, did. Every other time, he is very disrespectful to the head of state, he is very disrespectful to offices, and more importantly, even to the office that he held at one time as a Deputy President. It is not the office of one individual, it is the office of the Republic of Kenya. The fact that he besmirches or he disrespects our current Deputy President every other time, even in intonation and talk, is a demonstration that that is a candidate to appear before the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, so that he is actually grilled to know that whatever he says and whatever he does actually can affect and cause conflict in this country. So, Madam Speaker, I want to thank the committee for the work well done and for choosing the the shade or the people from across the country. All of them from the former 8 provinces. Every other region of this country has been represented in this commission. And in fact, if they will bring the cultural differences, the knowledge, the know-how, so that we integrate as one country, one Kenya, and move forward. I thank you, and I support this bill, this motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Charles Ngusia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. Mine is just to support, because I have just perused through these committee reports, and I can declare officially what they have done actually meet constitutional and statutory requirements based on the appointments of the state officers, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would like to start by congratulating the good work of the committee, which was led by my friend here, Duncan Mathenge. You've done a fantastic job when it comes to these issues of it in this important committee. And I have looked and would like to start by thanking His Excellency the President. Actually, I have looked, the committee remits to that gender role. It has also met the issues of representation of regional and ethnic diversity, and also the leadership integrity. I'll go straight by singling out one of the commissioner, the member, Jerusa Mwathime. This is a lady who has got immense experience despite being young. I remember I've met her, I know her, and I know the value she is going to contribute to this commission based on integrity, based on issues of professional training and academic credentials, because she's a distinguished lawyer and currently working the president as an advisor. Madam Speaker, I would like to remind this committee, one of the key issues actually they have never executed, it is issues of equality of opportunities and resource distribution. We would like to see them very actively advising the government, especially the president, when it comes to issues of resource distribution, which is a clear mandate as stipulated by the Constitution. I will go by saying that most of these members and even the chairman, they meet academic credentials very well, and his professional experience has really impressed me, and that is why I'm supporting this, Madam Speaker. Their backgrounds, we've really gone through the report, and none actually has ever entered a conflicting issue or appeared in any court of law. And I am sure we have elected people with competency and suitability to serve this commission, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'll be singling out the issue just arose recently in Mwingi, this week. We have been having border disputes, and it is high time for this committee actually to make sure they advise the Commission on Land to work together to ensure that boundaries disputes in this country are managed by promoting the national cohesion and agreeing very well, Madam Speaker. The issue of Kamba community being attacked by other pastoralists in the Tana River, this commission should play a big role in solving out these disputes, Madam Speaker. Otherwise, without laboring so much, the committee has followed constitutional and statutory guidelines in examining the suitability of this commission, and therefore I fully support and congratulate President again for appointing these people based on their ethnic and regional diversity. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, the Honorable Locha Kapong, member for Sigor.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the committee's report. on the approval of the chair and members of the National Cohesion and Integration Commission. Now, Honorable Speaker, from the report, the committee has observed that the chair and members have met the necessary requirements for the appointment into the position of commissioners of this commission. Now, Honorable Speaker, when you look at the names presented and the report as given, these members represent the diversity of Kenya, and which is actually very good. However, I want to say that just want to mention one, that from the report presented by the chair here, that one Irene Tulel from the North Rift showed or had best in-depth knowledge of peace, conflict resolution and management, and has a lot of experience in that area. So I think that is something that she will be able to bring to that committee. But when you look generally at the composition of the chair and members, each of them has something unique that is bringing to the commission. So this is a very good blend. Again, Honorable Chair, from the statistics given, 79 Kenyans showed interest to be chairs of this commission, 640 wanted to be members, and out of those now, 8 Kenyans were picked to head this commission. And therefore, there's a lot of expectation. They should know that Kenyans will expect a lot from them in performing their mandate. There have been issues that have been raised in relation to this committee, to this commission, especially those who are leaving, that they have always been complaining that they don't have power to handle their mandate effectively. And from the committee, that there is an amendment in this House that is proposing to give them more power or more teeth so that they will able to deliver and perform their mandate to the expectation of Kenyans. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, with that, I want to support, and just like everybody else has supported, and wish them well as they take up their role as commissioners of NCIC. Thank you very much.
The Honourable Member for Wajir North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. National Cohesion and Integration Act is a product of the 2008 Act, a statutory instrument. I think with time it is important that it is amended to make it amenable to the 2010 Constitution, if there is the need. Madam Speaker, I want to first congratulate that for the first time Wajir County has the first commissioner of this commission. Inasmuch as the commissioners reflect the face of this country, they come from all the regions. And from the commissioner of Wajir, if I may pair him with the one from Isiolo, we come from a very fragile area, always under clashes, conflict arising from pastures, where peace is tenuous. I think having such kind of two commissioners, at least from northern Kenya, will be able to deal, they should be having the capacity, or the commission should be able to deal with conflict emanating from pasture, lack of water, boundary issues, though it's not within their mandate, but in liaison with the commission that is mandated to do so. Further, Madam Speaker, this commission has very important role to make sure that they uphold the societal values of this country, to promote, to prevent discrimination, ethnic discrimination, promote national cohesion and harmony, and resolve conflicts as is required. But what has been happening, despite having people with flowery CVs, professors, doctors, people who have had experience in terms whose competence is not questionable, Kenyans have not been getting the results so required from this commission. They have had a knee-jerk reaction. They were reactive, only responding to outcries. You know what is happening between Garissa and Mwingi today. There are no mechanisms to forestall. There are no early warning systems. AI is a very important instrument to use at times. This commission requires to employ modern tools to preempt the likelihood of such things happening. They should not be reactionary. Madam Speaker, they also need to mobilize for resources so that peace building around past conflict areas is enhanced. Madam Speaker, I know currently they come under the Ministry of Interior. There is need to make it independent. I know the mover himself has a bill in this House to make this commission a bit independent, to divorce it from Interior, and I congratulate him for that move. Madam Speaker, there is need to give it an enforcement muscle so that they can deal with culprits, perpetrators of hate, those people who are always spoiling the cohesion of this nation. There is need to give them some prosecutorial role. They don't have to be at the mercy of other agencies, because the more they rely on other institutions, this country can burn in seconds, Madam Speaker. There is need to improve this institution, to make it a very strong, formidable, reliable, and result-oriented institution without making it an institution that's always crying for help. What causes most of this cohesion, discrimination, and these conflicts in the country is based on inequity. Kenyans are not enjoying equity or even development across the country. Some areas have been marginalized. There is inequity in employment. All this must be handled holistically if we are to make sure that we are bonded and cohesive and move together as one body, one community, a Kenyan community. Madam Speaker, we also need to enhance or improve on the maturity of our democracy. Politicians are the main source of the problem. Politicians are those who speak careless at every place, funerals, any public rally. If politicians can set the pace and be exemplary, the rest of Kenyans can follow. It is we from this House and outside, those who are aspiring to take our seats properly, who are the source of most of the hate speeches we are trying to discuss. If that can at least be condensed and handled well, I believe we will have a cohesive country. I want also to at least ask these 8 commissioners, now that they have the best of CVs, that they showcase their importance and their results to this country and the institution. With those few remarks, I support the report of the committee.
Last, we have the Honorable Member for Sirisia.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me a chance also to support this bill. I rise to support the bill, Madam Speaker, because it is so important to this country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I remember 2007, very many people died, Madam Speaker, before the new Constitution 2010 came in place. Madam Speaker, I want to congratulate the Committee of National Cohesion to come up with this bill that is going to protect Kenyans from being coerced on other things that are not correct. Madam Speaker, the Commission mostly has been commissioned because of maybe most of the politicians we are reckless in a way sometimes, Madam Speaker, either inciting people, communities, and that is how it happened 2007. Madam Speaker, this commission, as we speak, it should be independent. It should be linked from the office of the Minister of Interior. Madam Speaker, from 2010, Constitution, Madam Speaker, allowed that every commission that is appointed should be independent. And therefore, Madam Speaker, this commission should operate independently and should be given its own budget to operate, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it will make some of us politicians, I had my colleague, the Honorable Kaunya, there complaining about land issues, Jangara, and I wish Honorable Kaunya was here, Madam Speaker, because we have invited the Minister for Interior to come to the scene or to the division that was cassetted in my constituency, Madam Speaker. And that was the provocation that brought all these problems that we are complaining between me and the Honorable Kaunya, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Jangara is in my constituency because when they process, they want to get a title deed. The board is in Sirisia, the land board, and then after there, they go to Bungoma to take a title deed. Madam Speaker, Busia is a county like Bungoma. And most of the time, Madam Speaker, for all these years, the people of Jangara have been ignored. It was no man's land, Madam Speaker, because of the dispute that has been there all along. And now, when Mr. Osia, who was working in the office of the president, cassetted this, the Jangara to be a division in Busia, that was the provocation of the essence, Madam Speaker. And I want to tell my colleague that Jangara is in Sirisia, and the Minister of Interior, Madam Speaker, should move with speed to come and settle this, Madam Speaker, because we don't want to be blamed that, oh, Waluke is inciting people, and I blame that Kaunya is inciting people. Madam Speaker, we don't want our people to fight. We are a community that has held peace for very many years, for a very long time. And our peace should continue. Our people should love each other, remain like that, the way, because we have intermarried, and we should continue even producing mixed children, Tesos and Luyas, Madam Speaker. So I support this commission. And some of the problems that we are talking here, Madam Speaker, the commission is going to help. And it happened that I know some of the commissioners, the three commissioners, I know them. This is a good commission. The appointment was selected, and it is the face of the country, Madam Speaker, because when you go through the names, you can see that it is the face of Kenya. So, Madam Speaker, I want to support this commission, and I want also to say that the minister should come to Jangara as quick as tomorrow to settle the problem that is affecting the two of us, or the two constituencies, that is Jangara and Sirisia. I support. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honourable Member for Marakwet West.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I rise from the onset to support this motion on the approval hearings of nominees for appointment to the position of chairperson and members of the National Cohesion and Integration Commission. Honorable Speaker, this is a very important commission in this country. And that is why, Honorable Speaker, we have an entire legislation, the National Cohesion and Integration Act of 2008, which was amended in 2012, to provide for issues to do with cohesion and integration in our country. Honorable Speaker, someone said here that we have, at some point, focused on the issue of hate speech as a mandate of this commission. Honorable Speaker, this commission has broad mandate to do with ethnic discrimination, harassment on the basis of ethnicity, discrimination in employment, discrimination in access to distribution of public resources, and therefore, Honorable Speaker, this committee has a wide mandate, and therefore they must be able to execute the mandate as provided for under the NCIC Act. Honorable Speaker, we have qualified individuals that have applied for this position, that the committee has vetted. And Honorable Speaker, the issue is not qualification. The issue is, are they willing to ensure that the enforcement of what is provided for in the law is actually enhanced or actualized. So, Honorable Speaker, this committee must be able to ensure that we have a cohesive nation. Honorable Speaker, we have our countries, our neighboring country, Somalia. Somalia has literally collapsed as a country. They have tried for the last 40 years to dissociate that nation, but they have a lot of challenges as a country. Honorable Speaker, Rwanda, out of some ethnic hatred, that country, and we thank Rwanda because it has picked up, but that country almost actually collapsed until the current president came in and the current administration and the country has stabilized. So, Honorable Speaker, what I want to call upon this commission, as they assume office, let it be apolitical. Let them not be involved in political activities. Let them act without any fear or victimization or intimidation by anybody, be it at the highest level or be it at any level of government, so that we have a body that can be able to adjudicate matters objectively, a body that can be able to determine matters without any political leaning. Honorable Speaker, many people, we've seen people in this country, in political rallies, in public meetings, make certain utterances that would actually divide this country apart, that would actually bring a lot of escalate political tensions in the country. Honorable Speaker, therefore, they must know that they have been established pursuant to a legislation to protect individuals, to protect communities, to protect the sovereignty of our country, and to protect the future of the country as we know it, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, even as we approve this particular committee, and I support 100% for the approval of the nominees, but they must be apolitical and ensure that they perform their functions as provided for by the Constitution and the establishing legislation. Honorable Speaker, finally, I agree with those who have submitted 100% in this House that they must be given autonomy. They must have what you call decisional independence. Honorable Speaker, they are currently housed, actually, under the Ministry of Interior. The reading of the Constitution, the spirit, the letter, and the intent of our Constitution provides that, or envisages that constitutional commissions must be independent. So, Honorable Speaker, this commission, for it to have teeth, so that it doesn't become a toothless bulldog, let it be given financial independence. Let them act independent. Let that commission be independent. This House must allocate funds specifically to that commission and not through the Ministry of Interior, so that they can act independently and without any element of discrimination either way. So, Honorable Speaker, I support the letter, the spirit, and the intent of this particular motion. And Honorable Speaker, let us approve this commission and let them act and comply with the Constitution and all other enabling legislations. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Catherine Omayo, member for Busia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to support this commission must start working. In fact, I want them to start with Busia County. Recently, we witnessed something that caused our people to wonder if we belong to Bungoma County or belong to Busia County. Since when I was born, Changara Division has always belonged to Busia County. You find Changara in Teso North, but my colleague, Honorable Waluke, has been causing confusion by encroaching into our land and purporting that Changara Division, the people who have settled there, have no MP or have no leader. He wants to be their leader, which has brought a lot of conflict between our Teso North settlers versus, is it Sirisia constituency that is in Bungoma. Actually, the two places are like neighboring each other, Busia County versus Bungoma County, but on that particular boundary, Changara. So we want IEBC to come in first and start by settling our people. But I know Changara belongs to Busia constituency. He has been coming in just to get voters from Busia side to go and add his numbers on the other side. So we do not want to fight. We want harmony. We want peace. We love each other. We have intermarried. We have Bukusus versus Tesos who have married each other. You can't even tell who is who. But the boundaries must be clear when it comes to that. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Wilberforce Owundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me also take this opportunity to sincerely thank the Committee on Equal Opportunities, National Development Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity for its thorough job in vetting the nominees for the National Cohesion and Integration Commission. And these nominees are Dr. Kefa Nyamwea Omae as chairperson, M.S. Josephine Kirior Eragae, Joseph K. Nguyo, Jackson Swadi Kedogo, Dr. Samuel Mwachiro Mawasi, Irene Chepoisho Tulel, Hassan Bilo Ahmed, and Jerusha Mwatime Michael. Honorable Speaker, for just historical context, this National Cohesion and Integration Commission arose out of the mayhem of the 2007-2008 election violence. Both the Kriegler Commission report, which was called Independent Review Commission report, Waki Commission report, in their various reports, plus other civil societies, like the one that produced and the title Precipice to Disaster, they all pointed towards ethnic mobilization for political expedience as the cause of the mayhem. So out of the wisdom of the very many recommendations of those commissions, it became important that we must have a commission that for all it takes, even if it just becomes a scarecrow, as it has always been all since it was formed, at least it can put checks and balances on our loose mouth, so to speak, on outrageous and insensitive statements that we make in political rallies that incite animosity, hatred, disrespect, and disrepute to the various political players. So, Honorable Speaker, then secondly, obviously, when the bill was drafted, it gave the commission under Section 25 of the National Commission and Integration Act, number 12-2008, a wide range of mandate and functions. You ask any typical Kenyan, that they will tell you all the past commissions have only concentrated or narrowed down on a very minor aspect of their mandate, that is hate speech. many politicians of various cadre, various scale, various persuasion have at one time or another received letters from the commission to what I can say merely scaring them, because up to date, and I could be wrong, probably need to search, I do not know any person, any politician who has been tried, convicted, jailed or fined, or barred from holding public office as a result of any transgression committed under the provisions of this act. I therefore stand here today, call upon the commission, this new commission, under the chair, Dr. Kefa Nyamwae Omae, do not just be seat warmers in your term in the office, but we want to see you, we want to feel you, we want you to scare sufficiently enough to avoid us from making hate speeches and discriminatory statements that literally can cause this country to implode. As we have always said, we have no other country. The only country we have is Kenya. When Kenya implodes, when Kenya burns, as it did in 2007, 2008, Honorable Speaker, all of us will suffer. What many of us saw in 2007 and 2008 is something that we never wish to live again. We just want, as I stand here, to implore upon the commission. Your work is cut out. We are going to a very contentious elections in 2027, akin to the contentious election of 2007-2008, where principal actors in the immediate past elections have had a very acrimonious fallout, and each has vowed to teach each other a lasting lesson. So the stakes are so high, and all that we are going to see very heated exchanges, very, very tough words that might actually, if you are faint-hearted, it might cause a lot of distress and incite animosity. Honorable Speaker, actually, the stage is being set. The goons that are now becoming part and parcel of a political discourse, political operations, are setting stage for mayhem. I therefore call upon the commission. Honorable Speaker, we are starting to use some very hateful words, calling others waganga, mtu wa vitendawili, watu wa kung'oa reli. Honorable Speaker, to me, where I stand, those are hate speech, even if you look at the definition in this particular bill, this particular act. Honorable Speaker, ethnic profiling, or say Luyas can never unite as long as they have eaten, they have no other ambition beyond that point. We, the Luyas, feel that is hate speech, discriminatory, and it should be a matter that falls within the purview of this particular act. Honorable Speaker, saying, because one is not circumcised, can never lead this country. Honorable Speaker, that amounts to hate speech. Unfortunately, I never saw any leader in this country being prosecuted and barred from holding office as provided for in this act, this act. Honorable Speaker, I therefore call upon. Honorable Speaker, one of the issues, of course, that keeps on occurring, and it's normally a hot potato, is the issue of discrimination in employment. Honorable Speaker, a few years ago, I think 1.5 years ago, the country was employing, KRA was employing some junior staff to do some typical work. Honorable Speaker, contrary to the provisions of Section 7 of the Act, it was reported, and up to now, nobody has ever refuted that assertion, that close to 80% came from one ethnic community, yet the law is explicitly clear. No public establishment shall have more than 1/3 of its staff from the same ethnic community. Honorable Speaker, some of us feel very uncomfortable. You walk into a boardroom, you walk into an office and they can hold a meeting, a national function meeting in one ethnic language to the exclusion of others without shame. Honorable Speaker, if we want to have a cohesive society, we as individual members of society must walk the path. As I always joke, if you want to contribute to national cohesion, if you come from coast, look for a wife or a husband from Western. If you come from Nyanza, look for a wife, a yellow from Kiambu, and that they have excelled very well. So that in that manner, our children will not know whether there is a Luya, is a Pokot, is a Turkana, they will feel being Kenyan. But if you say you live in your village, you marry somebody from your village, how will you become a Kenyan so that you feel part and parcel of Kenya? Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, I want to plead